Would the lead us in the invocation and the pledge, please?
Dear Lord, just thank you for letting us live in a community that can peacefully protest like we had last week, Lord, at Valsa State. And Lord, just thank you for the blessings you've given us and help us to use those blessings to honor and glorify your name, Lord. And just help us to make the decisions for the county tonight that are best for the county and that honor you, Lord, and just watch over us and guide us. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, inside your package, you'll find your minutes from your work session of April the 13th and your regular session minutes of April the 14th. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Agenda item 5A is the 2015 request for proposal for the Juvenile Justice Incentive Grant Program. Mr. Tyler.
Yes, sir. Good evening. As we discussed in detail yesterday, this proposal is for continued funding in the amount of $458,592 to continue the functional family therapy that we've been implementing through the juvenile courts, and to extend that also partner with Brooks County. We're just request you authorize the chairman to sign all the necessary documents for us to submit that. I'll be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Mr. Tyler? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the 2015 Juvenile Justice Incentive Grant Program request for the amount of $458,592.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the request. Do we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 5B is the Deep South Sanitation LLC application for franchise. Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as you were informed yesterday, as a result of the action of the board to back in March to adopt an amended solid waste ordinance that authorized non-exclusive solid waste collection franchise, and also the acceptance by the Commission of the non-exclusive franchise request by Advanced Disposal Service Middle Georgia LLC. You now have before you an attached application for another franchise from Deep South Sanitation LLC, as well as a request to utilize the location, the collection center location at 345 Gil Harbin Industrial Boulevard.
Commissioners, do we have any questions for Mr. Pritchard?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just one. I wanted to know, have the applicant indicated the projected date of opening the collection center?
I believe all of the dates as far as being eligible will be May 1st, but as far as actual dates of them opening, that will be left up to those individuals. The sites, the 3 sites that we have been surveyed, plans submitted, as well as the access for all of those plans. They've been approved by the TRC. And I do believe that power is available to all 3 sites. So we will be talking to those respective companies to make sure of the exact time.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the application for Deep South Solid Waste Collection franchise and the operation of the Gil Harbin collection site.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. So let's move on to agenda item 5C. This is Investment Management Company of Valdosta, Inc. for the letter and a resolution. Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, you have a request from Investment Management Company of Valdosta concerning the renovation of Arbor Trace 2 apartments in Lake Park, and their request for a letter and a resolution for your support of their requests and application to the Department of Community Affairs for the participation of the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. I believe a representative is in the audience tonight from Investment Management Company if you have any questions.
Okay, Commissioners, I believe the speaker that's here has presented to the clerk some information on that project. Do you have any questions for the speaker? This is basically just a letter of support from the county for their project.
What is your name?
I'm Houston Brown. I live at 2212 Bridlewood Drive, Valdosta, Georgia.
This is a Section 8 project?
No, sir. It's not a Section 8. It's an old 515 tax credit deal, and we're going to put new tax credits on it and rehab it and make it like a brand new apartments.
I understand.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that, I move that we authorize you to sign the letter of support for the Investment Management Company of Valdosta.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion?
Is that also to approve the resolution?
Yes, I'm sorry, clarification, yes.
Okay, that also includes the resolution.
Second
We have
that
a-
also.
And we have a second. Any other discussion? We'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 5D is the FY 2016 HEAT grant. Commissioners, as was discussed yesterday morning, this is one of the two grants that Sheriff Prine had requested at our previous meeting, and he requested that one of those grants would be withdrawn, but that he felt very strongly about pursuing this grant, which with the grant, he will be able to get 3 vehicles that's completely furnished, you might say equipped, is a better word, 3 staff members to work traffic in these basically these high-traffic areas. It's an effort to reduce fatalities in Lowndes County. And as you see in the grant, the first year it's 100% covered. Then the second year it does drop down to some percentages. Those are based on the reduction in the projected fatality numbers in Lowndes County to cover the cost of the personnel. And then the third year, it will also drop down to another lower percentage. I believe it was between 60 and 70%. Again, based on the reduction in fatalities. And he wants to go ahead and pursue this. Now, at this point, the recommendation would be from myself is that I think that we need, if we do move forward with this, is that we are certain that the funding from Lowndes County would be through the life of the grant itself. And we also have Lieutenant Mike Adams that's here with us, that if we have any questions a little bit more in depth, that he may want to share with us. Good evening, sir.
The grants for approximately $325,000. It's a GOHS incentive grant. It's through, it's a GOHS innovation grant. And it's going to pay for 3 cars, 3 deputies for 3 years. Based on our fatality rate, which is astronomical right now, we've got 8 fatalities in Lowndes County. The GOHS has solicited us to try and get this fatality problem under, reduce it. Last year we had 14 fatalities, as y'all know, and we're already we're having a fatality 1 every 2 weeks in Lowndes County. GOHS has allowed us to apply for this grant to get this equipment and to put 3 patrols on the streets to reduce them. I asked them about, well, can we get deputies from the sheriff's department, slide them over to the to the heat team, absolutely not. They says, you have a problem, you have deputies on staff right now that can't keep up with the problem, so what we're going to afford you is 3 more deputies, 3 more cars for 3 more years. Based on that fatality rate, I had concern about that 3rd year all of a sudden just dropping the grant. They assured me that they never have just stopped a grant, and they never would. They will allow the county to absorb them through attrition, through new hires and stuff like that there. So it ain't like the grant would stop unless we ever faulted on the grant. They said that's the only time it would ever stop immediately.
Any questions for Lieutenant Adams?
Are y'all aggressively working traffic?
Yes, sir. We're the speed team, which came about April of 2012, has increased the number of citations, DUIs, seat belts, and child seat restraints and everything. And the numbers show that we're aggressively attacking it, but the fatalities are still going on up, even though everything else even though the citations are going up, the arrests for the DUIs are going up, the fatalities are still overwhelming us on certain roads. And so we use a mapping system and work them roads where the fatalities occurred. And you go out there and work them roads, and you'll start seeing the number of tickets start slowly going down and everything. But then at the road that we're not working at that time, it will actually start increasing up and everything. You know, like out there at Wild Adventures on Old Clyateville Road. You know, it's at multiple fatalities and single car accidents. That's really got us concerned about the citizens in this county.
Yes, sir.
Officer Adams, how many tickets did y'all write in 2014 compared to 2013?
2000, I don't have them numbers right here with me. I can tell you that in 2013, the number of tickets, I would guess, would be 30% less than the number of tickets in 2014.
You think we had a 40% increase in 14 from 13?
Of fatalities?
No.
Or tickets?
Tickets.
Yes, sir. But I don't have the numbers of which tickets we're talking about. I keep track of the seat belts, the DUIs, the speeding, and the child restraints. I don't know the specific numbers to them, but I can get them to you. In law enforcement, we try to, if you're aggressive on everything, you tend to get people not following the laws too much. You don't want to be too aggressive on them, so we tend to lighten off on the community if they are following with the law and everything, stuff like that. When we start getting fatalities, start getting more speeders, starting to have speed-related incidents, seatbelt-related incidents, you start getting more and more aggressive to attack the problem.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the heat team for the life of the grant.
We have a motion to approve the heat grant for the life of the grant. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, we now move on to agenda item 5E. That's our AT&T Business Promotional Discounted Lines Annual Contract. Ms. Black.
Yes, sir. We have 23 telephone lines that currently cannot be moved to our Centric system, but we have worked with AT&T to get a promotional discount on those. The new contract will save us approximately $63 per line per month, or about $10,000 a year.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Black?
So this is a positive impact?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion.
Accept the discounted phone lines agreement from AT&T.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the discounted phone lines agreement from AT&T and authorize the chairman to sign the agreement.
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 5F is a wine and liquor license, VHS Corporation, 2418 Rocky Ford Road. Ms. Black.
Yes, sir. The establishment currently has a beer license for consumption off premise, and they are wanting to convert this into a package store, so they are adding wine and liquor to that license.
Any questions for Ms. Black? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the wine and liquor license for the VHS Corporation on Rocky Ford Road.
Do we have a motion to approve the wine and liquor license for VHS Corporation at 2418 Rocky Ford Road? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Commissioners, as you recall, we had an agenda item that was added yesterday morning at the work session. That would be agenda item 5G for Nankin Road repairs. Mr. Pritchard.
As you stated, Mr. Chairman, the information for emergency repairs for Nankin was presented yesterday. You also have a breakdown of the cost from Roundtree Construction. The purpose of this work is to provide a pump flowable fill under the existing box culvert where it is now deteriorating and being undercut, and also to provide a concrete apron for the existing culvert. The cost is $31,121.
Okay, sir. Do we have any questions?
Just one, Mr. Chairman, who was supposed to do the work? Did he say Reams and Son? or-
Roundtree.
Say Roundtree?
Roundtree. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second, and we have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye. Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. We'll now move to agenda item 6, County Manager's Report. Mr. Pritchard.
No additional report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. We'll now move to citizens wishing to be heard. We have one citizen that has made a request. Ms. Gretchen Quarterman, please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Gretchen Quarterman, and I live at 6565 Quarterman Road. My mailing address is 3338 Country Club Road. I wanted to address you today because I wanted to say a huge, giant thank you. I went to a zoning and planning training 2 weeks ago that was sponsored by the City of Valdosta and the county, that was led by the Carl Vinson Institute. It was held over in the City Hall Annex, and several of people that serve on the board that I serve on, Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Planning Commission were able to attend that training. Trainings like that are hard to go to because they're often held in Athens and they're cost prohibitive. And I want to say thank you for the county for bringing that here and for paying for us to go. It was very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Any other business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn.